Welcome back to another video. We're going to cut some turquoise today, and we're going to cut some good turquoise. We're going to cut the highest, I think the highest grade piece of natural Royston that I have. Royston, fairly sought after turquoise. And then we're also going to cut two pieces of blue basin, which is Kingman area turquoise. Kingman mine, specifically from Blue Basin, also fairly high sought after because it's a very bright color of blue. And let me show you these pieces we're going to cut. We'll see what we end up, and then we'll end up setting one of them into something. Let's look at our pieces here. So, our two pieces of Blue Basin. These ought to be, they've both been kind of windowed a little bit. I think this is going to be our bottom, and this is going to be our top. The depth is going to be set by that little channel right there, but I think that's still the highest. That's still the highest domed, the nicest piece we can get out of that. This piece is also a large piece. I think that's going to be our top, and that's going to be our bottom. We don't care about that hole that way. That can be filled with some backing. And now our main piece here. This is a piece of natural Royston. It's very hard. It's by far the hardest piece out of that parcel that I got. This is natural, not stabilized, mined directly at the site on a pay dig. This should be an awesome piece of natural turquoise. I think all three of these are already pretty close. We're going to get them ready to be backed. Basically, ready for backing. This one's pretty much ready for backing. Just getting us a flat bottom to work off of. Color in that one. That one's ready. And then this one. This is going to be our bottom. This will be a fairly large cab. So that's really all we need right there is that little bit to get them ready. This one's going a little bit here before we dop them up. Like you probably should. Get a large oval out of that one. This one. Bring up the edge. A bit of a freeform on this one. And this one also, we want this one to be as large as we possibly can get. That piece right there kind of goes away. I'm interested in this one right here. So let's stop that up and see where it goes. Okay, be right back when he's dropped up. See why I'm saying this one's interesting. Something's going on here. Here we are dopped up. Just start with this one at random. I'm going to start getting it a shape that I like. case we're close enough to an oval that we'll go for an oval. Might not be, it might be more of a teardrop, egg-shaped oval, I guess. Kind of the direction it's going. Okay, start cutting this dome in and refine the shape as we go from there. This low spot right here is kind of what's going to determine how far we come in or how far we go down from the some of that edge has to go away. Mama told me when I was young, come sit beside me, my only song, and listen closely to what I say. If it's you, help you some sunny day. Oh, take your time, don't live too fast. Troubles will come, they will pass. You'll find a woman, you'll find love. Don't forget that there's someone up above. Be a simple kind of man. Be someone love and understand. Baby, be simple. Be a simple man. I want you to do this. Look at that blue. Look at your love. The rich man's gold. All that you need now is in your soul. Give it a try. I'm hoping we get down into get about 80% of that black crap off the top and have more of the blue coming through. I'm not real keen on the heavy matrix light turquoise look. Starting to clear up a little bit, and I would love to have that black spider web stay. Alright, we can see where that one's going. Let's move on to our. I'm questioning this one right here. This one might not be what I was hoping it was going to be. This is supposed to be natural Royston, not stabilized, not dyed. Again, we want to come down into the top enough to clean most of that up, at least I do. certainly doesn't, it's not always obviously obvious, but most treated turquoise, you can smell the resins in it when you cut it. This one does have a natural smell to it. I don't smell anything, which leads me to, if it was dyed, it would certainly be stabilized. So I don't think what we're looking at here is a poor dyeing process. I think what we're looking at is one that's kind of just going to be that pyrite coming through. Nice. Okay, I think that's where we want to go on this wheel. Just clean up this outer edge just a little bit more. This one's definitely not, I would say this one's, I'm convinced now this is not stabilized and that it's not dyed. This is just how this piece is. It's not as hard as I thought it was going to be. Okay, let's move on to our next one here. This one we kind of figured was going to be freeform-ish. We're going to have to come in down on the base of this one. So I'm going to get in here off the drop stick and kind of hog some of it off that we know it's going to have to come off to get a clean face on it. When I have to re-dop this one, it's not holding on to the dop stick real good. Again, that channel right there, we're either going to have to leave it or come way down on the depth, and I'm starting to lean toward leaving it on this one. You see we're a little bit sloppy on the dop right there. Alright, we'll move to the next wheel. We'll cut our bevel, get our scratches out of our bevel edge. And we'll continue our refining our girdle. And our dome. Put our light out here. There we go. I'm thinking that's pyrite coming up in there. This is interesting. After research, I see how common pyrite is in Royston. Common in, like, it's not uncommon in Kingman or some other mines. Morenci, that's the one I was drawing a blank on. Almost all the Morenci I bought has pyrite in it. You can get that in there. See how that pyrite ends up polishing up. There you go. That'll be interesting. It's definitely a freeform shape. Go back to our other freeform shape here. Our girdle, our bezel. bevel. This one has this, I don't like that, in the base of this. I've decided what to do about it, but it started cropping up on that other wheel, and we'll either cut it down, leave it and see how it polishes up and see how it looks. Cut it into 2 smaller stones around it, or try to grind it completely out. I'm jumping over this other wheel real quick just to see if we can't kind of see how hard it's going to be to punch down through it. It's not really showing signs of coming out, so. The cool thing about turquoise is how subjective it is, and how it's funny to me how common it is for me to cut something that I don't particularly care for, and then have 5 people tell me that they love it, and that's their favorite one that I've cut in a while. Everybody has their own tastes and preferences. Some people like their turquoise heavy on the matrix. Definitely got beautiful colors in it. We'll jump over to this one. This one should be fairly straightforward. It's coming nicely clean in the top. I'm thinking we're going to have a nice balance between matrix and turquoise color. I'm hoping to still get a little bit more of a clean face here as we continue with this grit on the grinding wheel. Look at that one. I think if you had to pick which one would be your favorite, not that big ugly thing in the face of that one, but between the Royston and the Blue Basin, which of those two so far are hitting your boat? So what I'm trying to do is to get this to cut to where that little bit of a bubbly will kind of clean up just a little bit, and just take another 10% of that matrix out and bring more blue in. So we're going to go down just a little bit more. You and I together in our lives, sacred ties will never break. Then why can't I let myself tell lies? Watch you die every day. I think back to a time when dreams were what mattered. Love talking youth naivete. They could never let me down with the horse stampedes and rages. Sorry, it's stuck in my head. It's a beautiful color of blue. I think even if we don't get any more out of it, that one's going to be a winner. Take just a little bit more cleaning up on this one, then we're ready for pre-polish. I'm going to clean up our bezel edge and our bevel and our dome. This one's not as hard as I thought it was going to be. I'm sure it's natural. It cuts that way, it smells that way, but it's a little softer than I was thinking it was going to be based on the way that it looked from the outside, but still plenty hard enough. And it's got that matrix, or that pyrite coming up through. This one might polish up to be really super nice. We're ready to polish and pre-polish this one. So if you've noticed, I've had a problem with this belt right here moving back and forth on me. What I did is I swapped pulleys on my machine to increase the RPMs, and that has given it enough centrifugal force to lock this down to where it doesn't move now. Moving a little bit faster than I'm used to, and I'm just kind of adapting my pressure because the RPMs are higher, but it's nice that now this thing right here looks like it's going to stay put, and I can cut a little bit more easy. If you've watched my videos, you know what I'm talking about. This thing was shooting right and left. Just needed a little bit more RPMs to hold it steady. Okay, there's that one. These don't take much. These are just, all this is right here is getting it ready for a polish. You know, I don't have 6 or 8 wheels of different grits. You know, 220, 280, 400, 600, 1200, you know, 2000, 3000 grits, you know, like other people run. I don't think you have to have all that stuff. I think I get a plenty good polish on my stones, but I got to do that by making sure that all the scratches from the 220 grit diamond wheel come out in that medium wheel right there, and then all the scratches from that medium grit wheel have to come out on this 1200 grit pre-polish, and then a little bit of Zam, and we get a nice, I mean, I don't see any scratches in it. It tells you don't have to have, you know, this is a older, you know, $400 or $500 capping machine versus a $2,500 to $3,000 one that I'd like to have, but I get it done. And I certainly could have bought one of those with all the money I spent on Opal and Turquoise, you know. But I've always, when I've had the money, I'd rather have the rough to cut than a brand new capping machine that, in the end, the stones wouldn't be that much better. Look at that one. Look at the blues in it. Incredible. All right, we're ready for polish. All right, here we go. Here's where we actually get to see. Sometimes they improve in the polish. Sometimes they don't. Which one should we start with? Let's start with the one I like the least. With that big clunky stuff in the middle. Just go out here around the outside edge. Oh, it's taking a nice polish. This is one that I could definitely cut down into 2 smaller stones, because the color is definitely worth pursuing. Like, cut that out right there and get a nice teardrop without that quartz inclusion in the top. Maybe there's people that like the quartz inclusion in the top. I know that some people like that. That doesn't look like treating resin filling a void. That's an entirely different look, and that was definitely, this does look like quartz. So there's that one. Next, our next Blue Basin Kingman. This one seems to be the, now this one also has some pyrite in it showing up. Whether it polishes up to where you can see it, we'll see. See the pyrite right there? It's always cool. Okay, there's that one. We'll get them and compare them in some better light here in a second. And now our natural Royston. This one being natural, I'll probably buff it less. I don't want to take a chance in undercutting it. I want to just do it enough to polish the face and polish that pyrite if we can. It is taking a polish. This one also has some quartz in the face of it. Oh yeah. Try and just get a little more polish on the pyrite. If it will really pop. Beautiful. Okay, we're ready to clean that up. You can't look at it yet. Here's our 3 stones. We'll start with the one that has that quartz in the middle. I think some people will like that. This one has some pyrite in it. If it was me, and it is me, but if it was me, I'd cut right through the middle of that, or cut that off and get a teardrop shaped clean stone right there, because those blues are just killer. And if we came down a little bit through some of that black and it opened up a little bit more. But for right now, we have a quartz turquoise. This one is beautiful. Blue with black matrix. It has some pyrite in it. This isn't the best light for showing off the pyrite, but you can see some right there. See it hitting the light. That's a beautiful blue stone. Tell me if this is the best one of the 3 or not. This is a piece of natural Royston. Kind of a polychrome with that cool pyrite vein running all the way through it. Maybe I'll take these outside and see if I can't give you a better look at that. But I don't know. I'm kind of torn on this one. I do like it as a natural stone. It was hard enough, but wasn't as hard as I thought it would be. It's certainly not the hardest natural I've cut. I like this color, not that lighter color, not quite as much. But tell me what you think. Would you take the natural Royston, the big beautiful blue basin Kingman stabilized? Do you like the big quartz blob in the middle? That's probably the best color. That dark blue. Getting close to it in this one. But tell me, which one do you prefer? Natural Royston, quartz Kingman, blue basin, or blue basin? Thanks for watching. Just to bring them out here to daylight. The daylight shows off the pyrite in this face a little better. See it right there? Right in there. There's definitely a better look at the quartz. Also a little bit of pyrite coming through that one there. And then our Royston natural. Look at that pyrite. Really popping and giving it some bling. That one deserves to be set in something for sure. Tell me what you think. Which one would you pick?